Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's going on?
My name's Tony.
And I'm Jenny.
And we are La Lido Loca, and it's Cruise Night Live.
Yes, it is on Tuesday.
Cruise Night Live. Jenny B.
Yes.
We were not here last week, or were we here last week? We were not here last week. And we missed celebrating your birthday, so I wanted to say a big happy birthday to you.
Well, thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Mrs. Queen.
The Queen of La Lido Loca, Jenny B.
Instead of Mr. President.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
I missed not being with you on your birthday, man.
I really missed you.
What the heck?
Yeah.
What the heck? So I am back from the 80s cruise, and this cruise was different. It was even different than the Comic-Con cruise. My thought process was I did the Comic-Con cruise, and I loved it. It was the first Comic-Con cruise, and then they said, go on the 80s cruise, and I said, okay. And, you know, two big things I want to say about it. First, there was a lot of fantastic music. It was 14 concerts in 7 days, and the music was one aspect of it. Plus, there was a lot of additional live music, guitar player playing in lounges, cover bands playing here and there. That was fantastic. And honestly, if I'm being true to myself, the reason that I went on that cruise was for the music, primarily to see Men at Work, and that fulfilled all my expectations. Then the 1 hour interview with Colin Hay the next day after I saw him perform, it was amazing. It fulfilled all my expectations. But then the other aspect which I didn't understand, which people are trying to tell me about, was the community aspect of it. And so that was the 9th year of that cruise, and there are people that have been on all 9 years of that, and they treat it like high school. So I was considered a freshman, and there were sophomores and juniors, and there were seniors who graduated, and then everybody else were alumni. And then every night was a theme night. There was a Fat Tuesday Mardi Gras cruise. There was a Video Killed the Radio Star, where everybody put on costume, not everybody, but where many people put on costumes from videos. Like you were looking to identify, you know, Flock of Seagulls was there, and it was cute the way they did it. I can't remember how they did it, but yeah, there was interesting stuff like that. There was a pop icon night where people dressed up like, you know, pop icons and stuff from movies. There was a yacht rock night, like the night I saw, I guess it was Christopher Cross. Everybody in the audience almost had on a captain's hat. So it was fantastic. Again, these theme cruises are a little more expensive, but you are getting to go and do things with people that have a very common interest. And I talked to so many people on that cruise that insta signed up for the next year to go on next year's cruise. Next year's the 10-year anniversary of the cruise, and they announced the lineup during one night of the cruise. So it was fascinating. But that's kind of the brief overview. I'm happy to field any questions. But if you've never been on a themed cruise, it's going to be interesting going back. So I leave in a week to go to Lisbon in Portugal to get on the brand new NCL Aqua. It's kind of like a shakedown media PR cruise. I'm going with my brother-in-law, Steve, which is funny because as soon as it was announced, he spent a lot of time trying to tell Jenny she didn't need to go to Portugal. So Steve's going to be my shipmate, which is funny. But yeah, this time next week, I'll already be on a plane going to Lisbon. And that should be fun. One stop, it's a 5-day cruise only. One stop in Rotterdam, it's an overnight. And then our cruise ends in Southampton. We're going to stay a day in London because Steve's never been to London. And then we're right back home. So it's, I'm kind of tired as it is because I jammed too much stuff into the first quarter here. But I just have to get through that. And then my sister's coming down for her very first cruise. And then after that, we've got a special reason to go to Las Vegas in April. And then after that, nothing for about 4 months. So I don't know if I'll take a 4-month away from cruising, but I would like to maybe do a road trip, hang out with Jenny B, do some stuff at our house. So I could work on my health a little bit. So I could see my legs are hurting, my knees are hurting pretty bad. So I got to get in and see somebody about that, hurting in a way they've never hurt like this before. So. Yeah, I got to slow down a little bit, but I still have a little bit of stuff to do before I can slow down.
So I'm going to interact with you, but I do want to watch the chat a little bit.
Okay.
Because Scott is here manning it. So
yeah.
I want to be able to help him. Thank you guys so much for all of the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. I just really want to touch base real quick. This week we also lost a special part of our community, Shane, and he's been on all of our Halloween cruises, and him and his beautiful wife Dawn really just were a big part of our cruises. So I just wanted to say, hey Dawn, if you're out there, we love you, and rest in peace, Shane. We love you to pieces.
That's kind of the hardest thing about this, as we get to know so many people. It's a tough week. There's about 3 people. I mean, Shane. I was thinking Sean and Dawn and Shane. Shane, that was a shocker. And then we've got a couple other people that are struggling, and it's heartbreaking. Question from Cruise Life Eric: were you rocking with Dockin? I did see the Dockin set. Now, unfortunately, well, I guess my challenge, I didn't really have any earplugs, and in Studio B, the metal bands were really loud, and so I finally got some earplugs, but I got them after the Dockin set, so it only lasted about 20 minutes for Dockin. It was so loud, but it was good. Let's see. Gay, we did do the Patreon already. So yeah, the savings times, it's 9 p.m. here right now.
Yeah.
Hello, Mercy. It was good to see Mercy in Miami.
Oh, I know. You got to meet up with, that was a lot of, well, and real quick, let me get back to that. Crystal is here, and Crystal, thank you. So Crystal is the woman that is going to be sending back our thing. Our thing. So I just want to say, I'm so excited and so appreciative, and I hope your move went well, and I'll send you a picture when we get it. And Benny and Judy are from here, the couple in Punta Gorda that we met on.
Oh yeah, what's going on, Benny?
Yeah.
Judy. Let's see. Loyal to Royal, how was Information Society? That was a big surprise for me. I really only knew the one song. And I was completely entertained by that show, to the point that I went to our local record store today and picked up Information Society. So the weird thing, this is what I think has happened. So for our anniversary, which is just a few days before I left on the trip, Jenny B got me a turntable. And she knows better than me how obsessive I can be about stuff. So we were having a text conversation today. And I don't know, I just say stupid stuff to Jenny. And we were talking about something, and I just dropped as a non sequitur. I'm like, well, I own vinyl, right? Like I was being goofy like that. And she goes, yeah, you're cool now. And then it hit me that I think the reason that Jenny got me the record player is because she does think vinyl is cool. But I don't think she thinks collecting comics is cool. I don't think she thinks collecting Funko is cool. And I don't think she thinks collecting Lego is cool. So I think I think in a, maybe even in a subliminal way, you've put me on a collection that you can be proud of.
Well, it's a collection that I can
I guess it's not sexy to tell our girlfriends that my husband collects Lego.
No, and listen, I didn't.
Have I reestablished my sexy husband status with the vinyl collection?
Ooh, yes.
There you go. I want to know.
No, I think that it's a collection that, I get to enjoy with you as well, and we can do it together. It's nice, you put on a record on vinyl, and
I invited you many times to build Lego with me.
Or what?
Come on, build some Lego with me, Jenny.
I'm not building Lego. I don't have the patience for that kind of stuff. There's no way that I could sit there with the little I just couldn't. XR kids, they weren't even that stuff used to get thrown out. If they left Barbie, shoes on the floor, or what did Gregory have? The Lincoln Log things that I used to step on. No. It gets thrown out. Mm-mm.
So David Nettles, I think it was worth the price? How was the value of the cruise? So $4,200. It included the drink package. 14 concerts in 7 days. I was pricing out the Ringo Starr All-Star Band because Colin Hay from Men at Work plays in that band. What was I pricing that? I was looking in the upper deck. I don't know, but concerts are expensive. That's what I found out. So I think it is special. I mean, it really is special if, the people that are going year after year, maybe that's only the one cruise they're doing. I can see doing one themed cruise a year for the extra price, but it is, it is substantially more than just a regular cruise. It's almost like going on a Disney cruise, if you want to think of it like that. I certainly think it was worth the value. I had a fantastic week. I got to meet so many interesting people. I got to see so many interesting things. I got to hear bands that only live in my memory and got to see, I didn't realize, like I said in the video today, I didn't realize how much Christopher Cross, how many songs were in my head. And so it was really cool to see Christopher Cross. So I think it was worth it.
Hey, Sharon. Sharon said I should start small on the Lego, and I will enjoy it. And listen,
no, we've given her small sets. I don't think she's.
No, because remember I did that little Easter one, and I just.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience for that. I just don't. I don't have the patience for it.
Andrew Bennett is leaving on Virgin Voyages this weekend for Puerto Rico. Any must-dos in Curacao, Aruba, and St. Kitts? Aruba's pretty nice. I would say a good free thing to do is to jump the trolley right by the cruise port and right around the downtown. There's a free museum down there. I'm not sure what you're into, but if I go back, I would hop off the trolley and go into the free museum. Curacao, it's a Dutch colony, so there's a lot of Netherlands influence there. I would go eat at a Dutch bakery. I also like the floating bridge where you can stay on the bridge and as it swings open. There's a lot of interesting stuff there. I did do an excursion where it took me to the other side of the island, and I think I saw some artwork and some interesting cactus. And so, but if you just want to walk around, I would walk down to where the floating bridge is, hit the shops there, go see the Loch Heart if it's still standing. I know one fell somewhere, but yeah, a lot of interesting stuff to do there.
Well, and also, inclusive in your pricing was unlimited drinks.
Yeah.
That's a big thing right there, and it wasn't capped, right? Because I saw in some of your videos they were just walking around with the alcohol.
Yeah. I mean, they would ask your cabin number, so I don't know if they were counting them, but I think Royal's unlimited anyways. Like, I don't think they capped it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Yeah, they were definitely letting the booze flow.
Yeah.
Casey and Tolson, have you been on Carnival before? We've probably been on 10 Carnival cruises, maybe a little more. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
from
platinum
their smallest.
on
Yeah, we're platinum from
Carnival.
the smallest ships to the biggest ships. They're fun. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I definitely like Carnival. It's one, they're very fun. The vibe is good. It's sometimes it can be a lot of people. Depends what ship you're on, but that's true for most cruise ships. So.
Yeah, and what I like, so we're going to be actually on Carnival
Paradise.
Yeah, Carnival Paradise. Is this our third time?
I think so.
Yeah, it's our third time. But I love that. I love that ship, and it's right out of Tampa. And what I find with Tampa, even though we'll see. I don't want to talk ahead of myself, but even though it's like spring break time, it probably will be. Tampa's a little different of a port. You don't get many kids, because it's the smallest ships over there.
Right. Sharon asked, did you ever do a helicopter in San Juan? Never done that. That sounds pretty fun, though.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yep. Oh, it's Gay's birthday today, too.
Oh, happy birthday,
Down
Gay.
Under.
How about that?
Happy birthday.
It was the funniest thing when Colin Hay, in his interview, of course, Colin Hay is from Glasgow in Scotland, but his dad moved him to Australia I think they opened a record store in Australia when he was just a teenager. And then he married, I really need to get this information right. He married someone from, I think maybe from Peru or Colombia. And she's a very famous musician. And so she had a lot of musicians with her. So his band was 3 players from Cuba. I think maybe the saxophone player was from Peru and the wife was from Colombia. I'll have to look it up. But he wanted Mark Goodman to introduce them as the famous Australian band with no Australians in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of funny. Question.
I have a quick question for you. Hey, Reed and Cheryl. It comes from Reed and Cheryl.
Yep.
Was that the one you were going to read?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Tony, on the Comic-Con cruise, did you have anything signed from the artist? I would have had Amanda kind of sign my HQ comic.
I didn't because everything was a fee. Like I don't know. Like I like having stuff, but then it's like I didn't like a lot of those autographs were $100 just for them to sign something or $100 just for a picture. That's what was interesting about the 80s cruise. So like say you saw George Takei on the Comic-Con cruise just walk in the corridor, it's bad form to try to get a picture with him. Like they frown on that because George Takei is selling his pictures for
Right.
$100. But the nice thing about the 80s cruise is you could ask for pictures. Like they weren't selling pictures and autographs. And so I did pick up that Colin Hay vinyl. I didn't take it to the Colin Hay interview, but if I wanted to wait around and get it signed, the day of the interview, I was like, oh, it'd be nice to have it signed. But then I'm like, I'm just happy to see the guy be an artist and to have his music and all that kind of stuff. But they would sign for you. You could get stuff signed, which was for free, which is very nice.
Yeah. Oh, Elaine will see us on the Paradise. Well, we'll see you there, Elaine.
There we go. Carol says, is Tampa Port easy to get dropped off at embarkation? We found it to be pretty easy, yeah.
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 So when we were in Tampa, they have valet parking. So we just utilized the valet parking. But we were someplace recently at a port. Didn't they also have valet? That we're like, oh, it's another one that has valet.
I can't remember, yeah. Let's see.
But yes, so to follow up a little bit more on that answer. So when I drop Tony off in Tampa, it's very easy. I just, you just drive right through and then you drive right out. It's very easy.
Yeah. Ski Deeds Information Society, great Minnesota group. Yeah, I really started. I wish I would have. It would have been nice if I could have had the set list from all of these bands. Like I don't know if anybody compiled that. I feel like if I went again, I would try to do it or nominate somebody like, hey, can we put together the set list from these bands? Because it would be cool to take those set lists and go, because I can't think of half of the songs Information Society did, but some of them were really cool. Same thing with Squeeze. Like I finally stumbled across a couple Squeeze songs, like Coffee in Bed. I've probably listened to that song 50 times since I've been home. I think it's so good. But yeah, it's like now I'm with you. Somebody said they've been listening to Spotify to try to find some of these bands. I'm exactly the same. I've been listening to all kinds of wild stuff.
So any breakfast recommendations by Tampa Cruise Port, going on Margaritaville at sea in May, staying overnight close by. What's that watch one? What is that called? That we met Stephen Bean at.
Oh, First Watch.
Yeah, First Watch is real good. Of course, there's a Starbucks right there. There's a nice coffee shop in the cigar, like kind of right before Ybor starts. So there's nice little areas over there.
Skeety says, how did overindulging in Lego make you focus on your faith? I found that interesting. Can you explain? It's simple, right? Like a pretty simple tenet in the Christian faith is it's more important to store up treasure in heaven than it is on earth, because everything on earth is going to pass away at some point. And so sometimes when that reality hits you, it can hit you in a hard way. Like, oh yeah, I'm accumulating a lot of stuff here, but what does it matter if I'm not actually storing up any treasure in heaven? So if you contemplate that and meditate that for a bit, then sometimes you really get caught up in your own overconsumption. So that was the big thing that put me on the 100-day like kind of break from Lego. Let's see. Becky, do you enjoy free building your Lego or do you build sets? I have seen some crazy. I'm not a great builder from my imagination, but I do like the concept of it. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I was kind of hoping to do with Lego is just maybe pull together like a couple hundred pieces and then build and break down and build and rebuild. I thought that would be neat to just take a small set of Lego with you and see what you could build and kind of document that journey. So that's what I've been thinking about, just to try to become a better builder. I actually bought an ebook or something from the Lego group talking about different house designs and stuff like that. Let's see. David Conan, thoughts about next year's 10-year 80s cruise. I think it's a pretty diverse set of musicians. A lot of different genres. They're covered there. I guess like I said, the big pop, the big cheer came up for Bret Michaels. Some of them were kind of like weird to me. Steven Adler of Guns N' Roses. Like,
come on, Rob Bass is going to be there.
Rob Bass is there.
Who cares about all those other ones?
Cool Mo Deep. No, I'm just saying, like, some of the announcements, like, okay, well, I feel like I don't feel like you're getting Guns N' Roses without Slash or Axl, but, it's interesting. There's going to be some neat bands there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Question, haven't already talked too much about Firehouse. They were pretty good, Jim. So, sadly, their lead singer, CJ, passed away from cancer. I believe it was the middle of last year, and as he was sick, they brought on this 23-year-old lead singer, and the guy's got an amazing voice. But it was a little bit of a... I think that's an interesting question to ask, too. So Colin Hay was the only member of Men at Work on the stage there. Now, he wrote most of those songs, and that made a lot of sense. But it was a little weird to see Firehouse there with these 3 older musicians and this young guy. The guy could sing the songs like nobody's business, and it's cool to see the bands go on. Like if you think about Adam Lambert singing with Queen, or the guy that's singing with Journey, but it's got to be a tough thing, you know, because you still want to be a band. But the 23-year-old is still coming into his own as, like I would say, a metal frontman. Because those guys from the 80s that were metal frontmen had a whole different vibe than I don't even know that a 23-year-old today could capture that. But it was good. The music was good and the song sounded good. It was just an interesting live performance.
Yeah, Lead on Life. We'll have to definitely check. So when we're in Miami, check out the Ball and Chain Cuban Pub.
Yeah.
But listen, if you guys are ever down there, Tony did stop by the Chop Shop for our friend over at Always Be Booked
in West Palm.
You know, he's from New York, so his food's probably
it was really good.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
let's
go
see.
show him some love.
Great, me too. Do you think you'll ever organize a Lego cruise? I probably wouldn't do a Lego cruise. Did you ever play with Tente? No, I've never played with that, Ray. That's a good question. Let's see.
What is Tente?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up later.
Yeah, we're probably not going to do a dance tonight. So
yeah, we don't usually do a dance break on the live show. It's more of a recorded thing. Oh yeah, thanks, Lorley. I got that Spock picture on clearance, I think, at Hobby Lobby one time. I got to get some other geekdom represented in there.
Where's my hand? There it is.
Where's your hand? Where's your hand, Jenny?
I know. I think my favorite, like, I really want to take that Prince home.
Really?
Yeah.
I asked you before I brought it.
I know, but like now that you have the vinyl, wouldn't it be cool to hang it up there?
I'm gonna put the Lego Beatles above the record player.
Like, oh, that's kind of
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a whole vibe in there, isn't it?
It's gonna be a whole vibe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'll share this story, and I really hate that I did not record. The Colin Hay interview. Like I was there documenting so much stuff. When I got to the Colin Hay interview, I went, you know what? I just want to be in the moment. I just want to enjoy the interview. But I kind of regret not recording it because he told so many great stories. But one of the questions that he was asked was, you know, who's the best entertainer you ever saw live? And he gave a couple answers, but he said one time I was at a music festival in Sydney, and we were waiting for the next band to come on. They were a UK band, and of course he's got a Scottish accent, so he does an Australian accent about how the Australian crowd was mad because this UK band was late, and they were getting pretty rowdy. And then the UK band shows up on stage, and it's Queen, and they're on stage, and they're booing them like right when they come out. And he said that Freddie took the microphone, and he said, you may be booing me now, but in 30 minutes you're going to be eating out of my hands. And he said they just continued to boo him. He said, but 30 minutes later, they were on their feet cheering for Queen. He said that Freddie Mercury was the most fantastic entertainer he'd ever seen in his life. And, you know, that's probably when my brother and I talk about this sometimes, like what bands you would love to see. And Queen is really high. Queen with Freddie is really high up on that list of it would be cool to see those bands. The other great thing, he was talking about being in Ringo's All-Star Band. And Mark Goodman, the former VJ from MTV, was doing the interview. And he initiated the question. He said, so you play in Ringo's All-Star Band, what's that like? And Colin paused for a second. He goes, well, you know, he's a Beatle, you know. And Mark goes, yeah, well, is that your answer? He goes, I think that's the only answer. He goes, a Beatle asks you to play in his band, you say yes. You know, he's like, because I guess he's 74 and Ringo's like 10 years older than him. He grew up in Glasgow. Of course, Liverpool's not that far away. And so, yeah, you could tell he's a huge Beatles fan. And he shared a sweet story about one of his favorite songs was a Beatles song because when he was young, his dad put that record on for him at their record shop and said, you know, these guys are going to be, you know, something someday. And he said it's just one of the fondest memories he had with his dad. It was such a great interview. It was so good. The other thing, I'll share one more Colin thing and then we'll move on. But one of the questions, Mark, is he said, what would you tell somebody who, you know, wanted to be a rock and roller or a songwriter? Would you encourage them or discourage them? He goes, I wrote Down Under in 40 minutes and it's been paying my bills for 40 years. Yeah. Then he used some swear words along with the word yes. I would tell anybody who wants to try it to be a songwriter and a rock and roller. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So a couple of people have spoken that today your dance moves were phenomenal.
Yeah, Jenny spoke to me about them when I got home.
I had a nice speaking to him.
Yeah. She's like, did you really jump off the couch with your hurt knees? And I'm like, look,
I'm like, what is wrong with you?
I'll do anything for the show, you guys. I'll blow my knees out just to try to just to get a laugh out of somebody. Tommy's here. Always be booked. Cruise and travel. Welcome home.
Hey, Tommy.
Man, that Philly cheesesteak, I am jonesing for it. It was so good. It was so good. It was good. Sorry you didn't get to have it. Yeah, Jenny B, you have to come the next time.
Yes, for sure.
Mr. Jones. Let's see. Yeah, I would love to. Ranth, I would like to see Iron Maiden. I feel like it was last year. So essentially, and we need to put a speaker system in our shower, but most every morning I would listen to Men at Work's Essentials. And so that way I would know how long to leave the shampoo in my hair. Like it's got to, It's a Mistake has to be ending before I wash the shampoo out of my hair. But then I did go through about a 4 month of listening to Maiden's Essentials every morning in the shower. And man, I would love to see Iron Maiden.
The Flanagans. What's going on, you guys?
David Conan, any other notable themed cruise? Yeah, I've been talking to Tommy from Always Be Booked. We might go on that Nate Bargatze's comedy cruise next year. So we got to figure that out. But yeah, I think that'd be fun to go to some stand-up comedy.
Yes.
Billy Page, Tammy Lane. Yeah, so what happened, of course, I was pretty exhausted on Monday because I've just been hitting it hard.
You need to take a nap.
Yeah, so there was a lot of warrant on that cruise, and one of the special moments, obviously, was right before they did Heaven. They paid some homage to Janie Lane, Jani. I can't even say it now. But yeah, I couldn't get the names right at all during that story. It was annoying. And then I realized it, and I went back to re-edit it, but I had the video set as scheduled. So like if you saw it, whenever I'm going to redo something, I put an X in front of the title and a dash. And when I finally got the other part re-edited with the right names, I looked up and that video was live, and I'm like, okay, well, it's live and 2,000 people have already watched the video, so I'll just make a comment. But yeah, it stinks. But sometimes it's tough when you're doing stuff in real time, you get it wrong. But that's the beautiful thing about not being perfect. But the cool thing is there's so many perfect people in the audience. They're easily quick to let me know when I do it wrong. So it's pretty nice. Carolyn Vigil, thank you so much for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Yeah, I love that. I don't mind a gentle correction, but somebody get called a effing idiot and stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay. It's like I'm making hundreds of hours or thousands of hours of stuff. I'm gonna mess up occasionally. Let's see. I really like that you're doing these theme cruises. I think it's something we haven't got. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of it either. Not because they're expensive, but they are expensive. And I'm excited because like next year, what I hope to do on the Comic-Con, since I covered it and we're kind of going, Jenny's going to go next year. And it's going to be, I think it would be cool for me if I just could go on something and just take a week off and just go on the cruise. Yeah. So hopefully that's what Comic-Con is for me next year.
And you say I don't support your comic book love.
It's not me that you're going to that cruise for. It's the people we're dragging along with us.
Yes,
if we weren't dragging people along, you'd be like, sorry, here's another cruise I'm not going on you with. See if you can find somebody.
Oh my goodness.
See if you can find somebody. Maybe my brother go. You're such a homebody. I need a paper towel. I'm sweating. I can go get a paper towel.
No, here.
I want to know what you're thinking. Is there something on your mind? I can juggle behind you. It's not a dance break, but
okay.
I can bounce juggle while we answer questions.
Monsters of Rock Cruise.
That's going on right now.
Yeah.
And I saw some posts that I think there's a all-female Maiden tribute band. It's called Iron Maidens or something like that.
This is a good question. Do you know if the bands stayed on the ship or?
So it just depends. Like Colin Hay was on there. Colin Hay was on there the whole week. Adam Ant got on in Puerto Rico, and then we stayed late until 11 p.m. and he got off. So he did his 2 shows and got off. Faster Pussycat came on the first day, and of course they had the sad event. Some of them got off in Nassau, but Tammy Down was still on when when the ship docked in Miami. So I think it just depends. Like, I think Information Society, I think I saw them almost every day on the ship. So some did, some didn't.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. The Comedy Cruise, a couple of people, the Comedy Cruise sounds awesome.
I think Comedy Cruise would be fun.
Yeah, I think that would be hilarious.
Hilarious.
You'd have to bring your, you'd have to bring your tissues because you'd be crying from laughter. So Carolyn Vigil, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it. And Beer Master, thank you for the super chat. They do have a question.
Yes.
We've only done Hal, Alaska twice, Panama Canal, Caribbean 3 times, and Boston to Quebec with 3 bookings through February. Hal is a good fit for us. What ship itinerary do you recommend for something different? Scott and Sandy.
Different than where they went to up the coast of East Coast?
Yeah, Boston to Quebec.
I tell you what, Hal in Northern Europe is nice, like Amsterdam, Netherlands, stuff like that. But if you wanted something warm, any of their Caribbean sailings are nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for the super chat.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Fast the Pussycat is booked on the Monster of Rock cruise.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder what's going to transpire.
I don't know. Cruzella Travels, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate it. So Mel C has a question. Any chance you will go on the Star Trek cruise? I've heard it's amazing.
I don't know. Like, I heard it's great too. I think I'm definitely on Comic-Con next year. Mm-hmm. And maybe we'll get one other themed cruise in. So it could be that comedy cruise. But maybe the year after. I think I'd love to keep sampling them. This is called tennis. Notice how the yellow ball stays on top of the pattern.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. We have never, Scott has a question, have we ever done a Hawaiian cruise? We have not. So, no, we have this couch here in the studio, and then we actually have the same couch at home.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, it's a lovely couch that was gifted to us. Thank you. Floor juggling in the background. The best live ever.
I could do 5, but I'll probably hit Jenny.
Yeah, don't hit me, please.
I don't know.
Oh, good. So, you did hit me.
Told you I would.
Abuse. My goodness.
When that pattern falls apart.
So they have some friends on the Monster of Rock, so they'll let us know.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be interesting. Aw, Mel C said my hair looks so cute on the thumbnail.
That's AI, guys.
Yeah, Tony was playing around with that.
We trained the AI with our images, so.
Yeah.
But it's fun to make some of those.
Yeah. Brian and Shannon, thank you guys so much for the super chat. Happy birthday to me. Take Tony B out for coffee.
Oh, yeah, take me for coffee.
And
girl.
we miss you guys also. So if you guys have not seen Brian, I was telling Tony, Smoky Traveler, he just did a really nice tour of Barbados. So if you're going to Barbados, go check that out.
I gotta find my other clubs.
Those are kind of like...
These are so like light, yeah. These are like one of those kit, yeah.
Yeah. Booger said juggling related... Booga, sorry.
Booger. Yeah, no, I think it's Booger. I think you're right.
No, I don't.
He sure knows how to pick a good name.
That's right. Juggling related injuries are no joke.
No joke.
No joke. Aw, Dawn. Dawn is in the house. Dawn, we love you.
Dawn, we love you, man. I'm sorry you're going through that. God bless you.
Yeah.
Been thinking about you all week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh boy. So Kevin has a question. Kevin Brudabaker. Are you? So I've always, when I look at his name, I always say Brudabaker, but it's like Brubaker.
Yeah, it's not like Rutabaker.
Yeah, no, that's how in my head, that's what it sounds like. Are you going to the Star Wars cruise, or is it too much of a trek? Dad joke. That was a good one.
Is it really, Tommy? Wow, we missed our Bargatze.
Oh, no.
Too busy, man, to try to get all this together. All right, well, we'll have to find another one to go on.
Yeah.
I listened to your podcast, Tommy. Thank you for the kind words, but I wish West Palm was closer. It sounded like it would have been fun to go to that rib. And the night I was there in Miami, there was a rib and country music festival up by Tommy. So it sounds like him and his buddies got to have some ribs and that the music was just okay.
Well, when you want to just like chill out, come to the West Coast. Come visit us.
Yeah, come on over. Come on over.
I don't know. And
anyone know if Tony gave up his studio or is this just a temporary thing? This is my studio. I've been here for 2 years, 3 years.
yeah.
Yeah, no. Studio's here to stay. I love getting up and coming to the office every day.
It's nice
Yeah, it is
that
nice.
you get to do that.
Should a person consider the inaugural Norwegian aqua cruise from Southampton, England to Boston? No ports and sailing into generally cold weather. If you're somebody who loves a ship and you love exploring a brand new ship, I think that would be great. You'd have so many days to do that. But if you're somebody who really likes to stop somewhere and explore some stuff and you like to be in warmer weather, then I would say no. So it just depends what you're into. But I don't know. It sounds pretty good to me. Like, I do love ship days, especially on a new ship. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Grabble Ladies watching with her 81-year-old mother-in-law. And she really enjoys y'all. Well, thank you for watching with her. And thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
Shout out, shout out.
Uh-oh, Noah from the Bronx. My parents, that's where they met when they were 17 and 8. Well, they were both 17, the same age. But they grew up on Jerome Avenue in the Bronx.
Ah,
Yeah,
Jerome. Your peeps.
that's right.
Man, Bargatze sold out. That's a bummer.
Well, you guys have to figure something else out.
Well, I think we should hit the streets of New York and do the iconic comedy clubs. Let Tommy carry me around the city.
That'd
You
be
can
fun.
come up there and stay with your aunties. That way, if we have to get bailed out of jail.
I'd probably stay with my sister or Kristen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any of those people in New York that you know, so you could bail us out if we got in trouble.
Yeah, I will.
Am I going to the Aqua event in Boston in April? I don't know. I don't think I am. I'm just doing that thing, that first sailing, and then coming home. I haven't heard of anything else. We do have some other stuff going on in April, so I don't know even if I could. What's good to do in Belize? I don't know, but all I know about Belize is unbelievable. Shout out Ludacris.
Belize, isn't that where did we see?
I can't remember what we did in
What
Belize.
did we do there?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
When is the next content creator cruise? It's one of those things in life, man. If you didn't get to the one, then you may not. I don't think they'll ever. Well, I don't want to say ever. That's a long time, but I don't think it'll ever come together like that again.
No.
There's no plans for one right now. I think our friend Josh Holcomb retired from YouTube.
I know.
Yeah.
But listen, that's what I told him. I said, it's a journey, and you gotta,
It's always there.
yeah, it's always there.
No, I've never seen Nate Bargatze live, and then of course he's from Nashville, which makes me love him. Anyways, I've seen so many of his clips, so it's weird. Like my friend Tommy here is a big fan of comedy too, and I would love to have some conversation with him online. That's not necessarily about cruising, but Nate Bargatze really proves that you can be funny without cursing, and I love a good cursey word. Don't get me wrong, but it's interesting. Like, I just wonder how that. Like, I think his whole lineup is they work clean, which is an interesting thing when it comes to stand-up comedy. Harold Knoll, glad to have you. Glad to hear y'all again. Navyman, UPS man from Kentucky here. I live cruising. Thank you, Harold, for the nice super chat and for the kind words, man. We're glad to have you here. Let's see. What are your views on business or air flight consolidators? Legit. Joya, I don't even know what that is, so I don't know if I'm the right person. Anybody know about air flight consolidators, what that is? Let's see. Question from Nan. Happy birthday, Jenny. Why is Royal making most of their large 3 or 4 day cruises? We love Oasis and prefer 8 night. Probably because it's profitable. Like, it probably makes good money for them. So I don't know. Colin, no chance of a Tony and Jenny dance break. We still haven't figured that out live. So maybe we'll get one recorded one day.
Yeah.
Appreciate it though. Let's see. Question: I'm doing Carnival Valor return trip from Barcelona to New Orleans. Any advice? Barcelona to New Orleans.
So it's transatlantic.
Bring yourself a good book.
Yeah.
Make a plan for those sea days, even if it's just sleeping. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, what I really enjoyed on the transatlantic, I had 8 days in a row at sea as I went across the North Sea. I think it was the North Sea. I just found it went by a lot quicker than I thought it would be. I tried to engage in at least one cruise ship activity a day, whether it was arts and crafts or whether it was going to a trivia or going to an enrichment lecture. And then I read a book, and I actually told myself to not work so much and just relax. And so I
lost that wingspan a lot.
Lost that wingspan a lot. I feel like the man, we had a bad wingspan day today. I don't even want to talk. How dare you bring that up?
I love it.
How dare you?
Love it.
How dare you? But yeah, I think you'll have a great time. Brian, ever been on Celebrity Reflection going next week? We've never been on Celebrity Reflection.
No.
We've been on Celebrity Equinox, Celebrity Edge, Celebrity Apex. Is that the extent of our celebrity time?
Yeah, we haven't been on Celebrity that much.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. Let's see.
They're talking about all the...
Oh, Jenny, do you know that isn't there a land-based casino? Who's the partners with Royal that's land-based? Is that Caesars or something?
I think it's MGM.
MGM, okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, NCL is also hooked up with somebody that's land-based, and I can't remember which one.
Jenny, before YouTube, what were your multiple careers that you were a part of?
So I was not much of a job hopper, right? So anytime I changed a job, it was...
You change careers.
Well, I changed careers, but I would also... We'd move.
Yeah.
Right? So but anyway, I had a career in the medical sector, and then I was in real estate for most of my career.
Yeah, so right after Y2K, I got officially into IT. I had a computer in the 80s and 90s, and I could build computers and stuff like that. But I got my first official job right around Y2K, and I was just a hands-on. I worked in a data center. I looked at a green screen on an AS400. I helped load tapes into tape silos. That was my first job, and then I got some certifications, and eventually I did SQL admin stuff. I did network stuff. But somewhere along the way, I got into leadership, and my last official job is I was a global operations manager for a Fortune 500. So I was managing data centers in Europe and in Asia and in the US. And it completely burned me out. We left Nashville to take a job in Charlotte, and I didn't love the job in Charlotte. And stuff happened. I'm like, I can't do this job anymore. But if we'd never moved to Charlotte, we'd never gone cruising. And so it all works out the way it's supposed to. And it makes me sad, though, because Nashville is such a booming city now. And can't go. Sometimes you can't, it's like you can't move back to New York. You almost can't move back to Nashville.
Yeah.
So
unfortunately, yeah.
Question: how many have you signed up for the October group cruise? I'm really looking forward to it. We'd have to ask our travel partner Walter, but I think there's over 300 people going, maybe 150 cabins right now.
No, that's Philly.
Oh, Philly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. October's not going to be that busy, which is nice because we kind of booked it late, thinking announced it late because it was just something that we were going to do. So I don't even know if that's 50 cabins yet.
I'm not quite sure. I still need to make a Facebook group for that, but we've just been so busy. And then I know that Walter did get a hotel kind of set up, so I want to get all that out there.
Yeah.
Lester Lee said, Tony, Jenny loves to give you a hard time.
She does, that's true.
But listen, I give him a hard time. It's all in fun and love. And without this, I love this man. He's...
Yeah, I don't know how long we've been doing the live show. Gosh, when we started YouTube, there just wasn't a lot going on live show wise. So I feel like we've been doing the live show since 2018 or whatever.
Yeah.
But early on, so we wouldn't make each other upset, we made a rule that whatever happens on the live show stays on the live show.
Yeah.
So if you see us picking at each other or making inside jokes to try to needle at each other, we just leave it here. So it's
that's yeah.
The wild thing, I won't get too sappy, but we are each other's person, so there's not too much that we can do to really throw each other off. So, we love putting on the show for you guys, but at the end of the day, we're each other's ride and die. So
that's right.
Bob King, thank you so much for the super sticker, number 5. Let's see. Terry says, I know you're not political, but will tariffs increase prices on cruising? I have no idea. Like, I don't follow it. Like, I was getting flamed for saying the Gulf of Mexico or something, maybe a day or two after it changed. And I really thought that was just some political thing. So I don't know. Like, you know, I feel like, well, I mean, this could be controversial, but I feel like we're too manipulated by people that have a lot of power. And it's if we can all fight each other, it's easier to control us. And so I just choose not to be a part of it. You know, my uncle got killed by friendly fire in Vietnam, and a lot of people have shed blood for the freedom that we have. And so I try to look at the candidates around election time and vote and that kind of stuff. But beyond that, I don't really like to get into the politics. And it's so annoying to me on a cruise ship when somebody wants to lead with politics, and I'm like, man, I just don't. Can we not talk to each other, because I got no time for whatever thing you're hung up on. So I don't know if that's the right way to be, but it's so annoying when somebody's, what about this? I'm like, I don't know, man. Let's see.
Bob King, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate it.
Linda, European visas, what country, and does it start now? I hope it doesn't start now. I did get my travel authorization for the UK. I paid my $13 just 2 days ago, so I can bebop around London. But I don't think I need one for Portugal yet. I don't think they turned it on, but I will definitely check again this week so I don't get jammed up,
So the October cruise is not over Halloween, no.
No. Question, we will be flying to Miami late on Friday in October for a Saturday sailing. Stay at the airport or closer to the port. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. You're going to save money if you stay by the airport. You're going to have probably... It depends what the traffic's like, but most of the time, if traffic's not crazy, you could have a 45-minute to an hour ride to the port. Obviously, if you stay down on South Beach, you're going to be closer to the port, but you're going to pay for that privilege. So you just have to weigh that out.
So Sherry has a question. Have you done Princess Ship with their amazing Premier package? We feel like it is the best deal at sea. So my thought on that is on the Sun Princess and their new Star Princess, it is so specialty dining heavy that you really need
Keep saying that.
That you really need to get the Premier, because it is unlimited specialty dining. So, but on the other ships, I just don't know if it's worth it.
I think you need a lot of specialty dining.
Yeah.
Tommy Casabona, are you a Kevin Smith fan? If you say yes, then that's the one we need to bird dog. They do it every other year, and I don't know when they did the last one. But I hear that cruise is fun too. Yeah. But yeah, we may have to book something in 2027 and if everything's starting to be sold out. Let's see.
Thank you. My Apple Watch band came from Amazon.
Yeah, Steve, that's what I have been looking almost weekly to see if the Schengen countries needed the travel authorization outside, but I don't think. Oh, delayed to 2026, Agnes says. Thank you so much.
So Timothy said, funny, my wife and I love Wingspan and Island of Cats. Do you know what Island of Cats is?
I've heard the game, but we've never played it.
Oh, we'll have to check
Yeah, so
that out.
if you're a on the board Wingspan lover, there's a great port on the iPad and on Steam and on the Switch and almost every platform. But I don't know how long ago. But we've played Wingspan every day, and we play the best 2 out of 3 every day for the longest time.
So someone asked about if we liked Princess Royal or the new Sphere class. I'm sure that we have some overlooks of how we felt on both of those different class of ships. Yeah. I enjoyed the Sun. I think that Princess did really well.
Jolene says, any word on Norwegian Cruise Line resuming to St. Petersburg in 2026? I don't know, but if they do, I'll go because St. Petersburg's on my bucket list.
Yeah.
Travis Bell's in the house. What's up, buddy? Yeah, thanks for showing me around the behind the scenes. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Question, what would be the best solo cruise leaving out of North or Central Florida? I don't know, man. So Norwegian's going to have solo cabins. Royal ships, some of them will have solo cabins. And I think Virgin's pricing on solos aren't bad. So I would try to find something that's not too costly with a single supplement. But if you're leaving out of Florida, you're most likely going to go to the Caribbean. I think if you really want to get the most out of the Caribbean, it depends. A lot of cruises go to the Western. to like Cozumel, those kind of places. If you've been over there before, don't do that. Try to go Southern Caribbean. Go down to St. Martin, or at least go like San Juan, St. Thomas, Aruba, Curacao. Those kind of places, if you've never been there, really are, all of the Caribbean's good, but it all has a little bit of a different vibe, and I really like those Southern Caribbean ports.
Yeah.
Southern and Eastern, if you've already spent some time in the Western.
Hey, Mercy. So Mercy just had a question. What's the name of Tommy's restaurant in Palm Beach? She said it and they missed it. They like to take car rides to Palm
Chop
Beach.
Shop. The Chop Shop.
The Chop Shop.
And I believe, Tommy, they're open 6 days a week, I think. I think they're working like kind of lunch into the evening. I would say every day except Sunday.
Yeah.
Colin, I don't know which ones have solo cabins, and I'm not sure the best way to find them, but I do know that Spectrum of the Seas, which is still in Asia, had a solo balcony that was great. I think maybe the Quantum class ships have solo, or Quantum Plus, but yeah, check it out. But man, one of the nicest solo cabins I ever had was that solo balcony on Spectrum of the Seas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bob would like our review of Viking or other luxury cruises. I will leave the spot where you can send me that Viking money. How about that, Bob? No, at some point we're going to have to make the investment. You know, there's no casino and the entertainment's small and not big. I think if we found the right Viking cruise to some ports that would be interesting, that would probably be a yes. Look, I'm not that into being served. So I don't like the all-inclusive. Wow, the Haven that I went on that NCL put me on was amazing, but I liked it mostly because it was so peaceful. Right. The food was good, but I don't need an extravagant level of service. Like, I feel weird almost to have an extravagant level of service. But I know some people really like it, and I think that Virgin and those kind of places are good. We've never sailed on the Yacht Club. That's something that we've considered. Spring break is going out of San Juan. That should be a wild time.
Did you say hello to Travis Bell?
I did. Okay.
I
did. That's what I was saying. He was talking about.
I'm sorry. I've been looking at the chat, so
No.
Yeah. Sorry about
How
that.
dare you not know I said hello to Travis Bell? Pay attention, woman. No, I'm just kidding.
Woman.
Yeah. You know what? So one of my vinyl pickups on the way home, I stopped at a record store in Kissimmee. I'm all about this record store culture now, trying to not buy from the big boxes. But I picked up John Lennon and Yoko Ono's Double Fantasy. And again, I think I knew songs off of that album, but I'd never listened to the album. That's a freaking wild album. So it was like one John Lennon song, followed by a Yoko Ono song, followed by I'm like, this poor John Lennon had to give Yoko half his album. But honestly, all I ever thought about from Yoko, obviously the bad rap she gets is breaking of the Beatles, which I don't think that's true, and I've heard Paul talk about that. But she had some really decent songs on there. It wasn't just all weird screaming. Like I told Jenny, if Yoko was just like a club artist where dance music or interesting pop music, I think people would like it. I think she just ended up getting a bad rap because of the timing. But yeah. Let's see. Aaron says, "Are we both excited for the Med?" I think we are. That's still a ways off. So we have so many interesting things happening in our lives. Before that, we tend to delay our excitement until it gets closer to the thing.
Yeah.
So.
Someone asked for the October link for the group cruise, so I am posting that now.
Beth, the main book I read for my spiritual journey is the good old Bible, the good book, especially the Gospels. I read them a lot. So, MSC last year and Hooked. Yeah, MSC's good, Mike. Jenny B shows posting links. Who's this Jenny B show?
That's me.
Have we ever been on Enchanted? We've been on some version of that show.
Enchanted, we were...
Alaska?
Alaska, yeah.
Yes, we loved it.
Yeah.
I like most of those princess ships, but yeah, the ones that have more restaurants I like better.
Yeah.
Blue to Green Travel just got back from the Harmony of the Seas. That's good. Yeah, Harlan, that's the saddest story, right? I think that album, did the album come out and then he got shot like the next week, or did he get shot and the album came out the next week? So sad. Like, I was just looking at the back cover art while I was listening to the album yesterday morning, and just sad. I just remember that so distinctly because my mom's just 20 years older than me. So in 81, when John Lennon passed, she would have been 30. She would have been 30. But she'd turned me on to a lot of that music. We'd listen to a lot of Beatles together. and I think it had to be in the 70s. There was a Beatles cartoon, and so I just remember being up early that morning, and we would watch Good Morning America. And I just remember it, I remember going and waking my mom up and telling her that John Lennon had gotten killed. I was like 10, and I just remember her crying. And I just remember all of that so vividly. I remember that in the Challenger explosion a few years later. But yeah, it was just sad, I'll tell you the weirdest thing on the... this is kind of freaky. So on Explorer of the Seas, they have a nice library there, and there's books on all the shelves. There's one shelf there that was a book exchange shelf, and the only book I ever saw on that shelf was a worn copy of Catcher in the Rye. So Mark David Chapman, who shot John Lennon, that was the book that he was obsessed with. And I remember reading that book years later just because that was the book that the guy read, and it's a really interesting story. And then the day that I got off of the cruise, like the night before, I walked to maybe some elevator I hadn't gone to before, and there was Double Fantasy framed on that cruise ship. And I said to myself, if I do go to a record store tomorrow and they have Double Fantasy, I'm going to pick it up. And so it was weird to see Catcher, the artwork of Double Fantasy, and then being able to pick up none of it probably means anything, but it was just kind of weird that it all kind of played out like that. So yeah, I took this picture and sent it to Jenny. This was in one of the elevator banks. So yeah, that's the cover photo from Double Fantasy. So it's pretty wild. Pretty wild.
Pretty wild.
Oh, Chuck's in the house too, the mayor of the 80s cruise. What's going on, Chuck? If you come here to tell me how good Colin Hay's set was for the alumni, I will come through the computer and punch you in your nose. How about that?
Oh, is that Chuck?
Yeah. Every time I see Chuck, I'm like, oh man, that Colin Hay was good. I can't wait to see your pictures from the alumni event.
Aw.
So, man.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Chuck.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there questions? Anyone have questions? Oh, there you go. Tommy with the good information. Tommy also a travel agent. So if you're searching for one of those, check out Always Be Booked, Cruise and Travel. All the Quantum class ships have solo cabins, as well as the Harmony, Adventure, Brilliance, Jewel, Mariner, Radiance, and Serenade. Let's see. Main Man. Hey, Tony, you just did an 80s cruise. Share your age, please. Wondering if they do a 60s cruise. I was born in 1971. I am 53 years old. My old lady, though, is not 53 anymore. She was born in 1971. She just celebrated her birthday. So for the next 6 months, she gets to be my old lady.
Don't ever.
What's up, baby?
Call me old lady. I can't.
I got to ask my
I do not like that term.
I got to ask my old lady if I can go out and go to the park.
How dare you?
How dare you? Let's
Oh,
see.
Chuck said that he was just going to say that.
Yeah, I thought he might.
He had to cut. He had to stop it.
That's right. I had to cut it
before
off.
it even happens.
Cut it off. Chuck and his wife might go on our Philly cruise.
Oh, Philly.
Yeah, because they live in Philadelphia.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
So, I believe he said when we go to Philadelphia that Colin Hay would be at his house doing a private thing, but you had to
because
be,
he's alumni.
But you had to be alumni to go to it, even.
Yeah.
So.
That's funny.
Exactly.
You are so funny.
That's right.
He said, "Are you trying to get hit?"
I might be talking about my old lady. Me and my old lady.
It's true.
We went downtown.
Very true. Very true.
There's a 70s cruise that was coming up because somebody in line. Let me tell you this, and no shade on anybody. We had a challenging disembarkation. I don't know what Chuck and Travis had, but
well, they're alumni.
They probably got it special. They told us that we would probably disembark at 7:30. I got in line at 6:45, and the line was already deep. They didn't let us off the ship until 8:30, and I talked to several people in line that had flights at 9 a.m. I talked to some people that had a flight at 10 a.m., and they were all freaking right out. They were all freaking right out because they missed their flight. So just a reminder, and there's a lot of new cruisers on the cruise ship there on the 80s cruise. Don't book your flight so early because it's not good. It's not good.
No.
Elaine graduated in 1971. How about that?
And she's 71. That's
71.
That's pretty cool.
Very nice.
Yeah. Hopefully we can say we graduated in 89 and we're 89.
Aaron's been on the podcast channel. Yeah, I need to get another. So we're in the process. Probably Thursday. I got a nice setup for Jenny's office at home. And I really want to start making that La Lita Loca Cruise podcast the conversation between Jenny and I a lot. So we're trying to get it so it's easier.
And you might see some things on Jenny B.
Jenny B, yep, Jenny B show. Once we get a new video up over there,
Yeah,
I will tell you guys to go watch the Jenny B show.
Yeah.
How was Honeymoon Suite on the cruise? BD Longshot. I didn't know anything about Honeymoon Suite. I did recognize the song when they finally played it, the girl song, whatever that's called. Those guys rocked. I mean, the lead singer, wonderful voice, and the guitars were. I mean, I don't know if they were considered a metal band back in the day, but man, they had some raging guitars, and I loved it. I thought it was great. I've been trying to listen to them some too. There's so much music, my mind's actually being blown. Devo was not on the ship other than the people that dressed up like Devo, and I'm like 2 or 3 albums deep into Devo right now, and I'm loving it, loving it. Do you think the 80s cruise will disappear when they can no longer book artists? I don't know, Linda, because there's such a community there. I think they would come and celebrate. So the band that did our sail away party, and Chuck and Travis could tell us the name of that band. None of those guys look like they were above 14 years old. So I think there'll always be people that will be happy to pay homage and tribute to the 80s. So
Yeah.
I think that cruise could keep going. It'll be sad, obviously, when some of the artists age out, but I think it's something that could keep going. So
Well, and even like on NCL, right? They have the Beatles tribute, and like they're phenomenal.
yeah.
You know, and they were like
Yeah, that
14
was amazing.
They were
Yeah.
like 14 years old.
I was thinking about Lori and Gary Cruz. I saw them pop up. I want to say thanks for super chat. Happy birthday, Jenny. Thanks for another great live. Lori and Gary Cruz are some of my favorite people on the internet to watch. They are my kind of weirdos, and I mean that with love. So that's, the funniest thing about this 80s cruise is it did feel a lot like high school, and I kept looking for the weirdos. I mean, there was a lot of cool kids there, a lot of popular kids there. I'm fully in the weirdo category, and I feel like I needed Lori and Gary on that cruise with me. But artistic performers, my favorite kind of weirdo. So yeah, if you guys want a different take on what's going on in cruising, check out Lori and Gary Cruise. Let's see. The band was Sunset Boulevard. Yeah, they were good, man. They rocked.
Yeah.
There were a lot of good cover bands. There was another band called The Reflex that was a cover band, and then Trial by Fire was another cover band. They had great like dueling pianos on there. A lot of great musicians on there, in addition to like kind of the other acts,
Mm-hmm. All right, my love.
Oh, is it time?
It is. It is.
The time
It's
is
past
now?
Time. We don't like to waste, people's time after 10.
Okay. That was a nice way of saying you're ready to go home.
You're so silly.
All right, guys. Thank you.
No, I know other shows are coming up at 10, so.
What do we got to watch? Traders? All right, we got to go home and watch Traders is what Jenny's saying.
So silly.
Thank you guys so much for stopping by. My name's Tony.
My name is Jenny. I didn't know what my name was for a second.
Thank you guys so much for
Jenny.
stopping by. My name's Tony.
And I'm Jenny.
And we are La Lido Loca. And until the next time,
We'll see you on the Lido.
we'll see you on the Lido.
Bye.
Bye.